my baby chicken nuggets. If you're not new to my channel, then you definitely know what time it is, but if you are new, welcome to my channel. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it is X Abuse listener time. I have a series on my channel where I do the My Hero Academia characters X Abuse listener, and yeah, it's Decky's turn to find out that Ryan is being abused. I've gotten requests for this video so many times, but it's always been hard for me to write about Deku, but here you go. I just find him as like a child, like a literal child. Like, I see him as a sweet little cinnamon roll. I just never put myself in the situation of dating him. Yeah, no, it wasn't my thing, but I still wrote you guys a story for him because I know some of you guys love him. So here you go. It is X Abuse listener, and obviously there are trigger warnings in this, like abuse, self-harm. And I think that's it, but if there are more trigger warnings, I will definitely warn you about it. And if you haven't went and checked out my, what is it called? My other parts of this series, make sure you go check it out. My Todoroki one is actually my most viewed one, and just go check out my other videos in general if you would like to. But drink my water and let's get started. I actually have announcements at the end of this video, so please stay to listen to those. I understand if you don't, but please stay because they're kind of important. Let's get started. You were currently sitting in the 1-8 common room, crying. You weren't really sure what to do with yourself. Your mother and father had called you earlier, which scared you immensely. You didn't hear Deku come in. Deku's POV. I had walked downstairs to get a glass of water because I had woken up in the middle of the night. But then I saw her hair. I immediately knew it was Ryan. I mean, I had a huge crush on her. Of course I would know it was her. Ryan, I said, but she didn't turn around. She must not have heard me, or she was zoning out or something. I walked over to her and placed a hand on her shoulder, which caused her to slightly jump. She looked at me, and I realized that her eyes were puffy and red. She had been crying. I didn't like the idea of that. I had a huge crush on her, yes, but she was always happy and bubbly. Her crying wasn't really an option. I didn't like this idea. Your POV. You had felt a hand on your shoulder, which made you jump. It was Izuku. You had liked him for a couple of months now. You really hoped he didn't notice that you were crying. Izuku, what are you doing up so late? You said, putting on a fake smile. Izuku walked around the couch and sat next to you. Why are you crying, Ryan-chan? He said to you in a sweet, soft tone. Oh no, I wasn't crying, Izuku. It was nothing, I promise. No, Ryan-chan, you're crying. That's not normal. Tell me what's wrong. He said to you. My parents called me today. He stated. What's wrong with that? Aren't you happy to hear from them again? I mean, ever since we moved to the dorms, we don't see them much, right? He said to you in a happy tone. You were curious on how someone could always be so happy. That's a part of him that you loved. His cheerfulness and his willingness to always smile. Maybe for most people here, but I don't have the best relationship with my parents. You said as your eyes started to get teary. What happened? He said to you in a concerned tone with worry scattered all over his face. It's not important, Izuku. I should probably get back to my dorm. You're right, I probably shouldn't. Ryan-chan, don't do that. Please tell me what happened. He said to you. He gave you those eyes that you couldn't say no to. So, you were gonna tell him. You hadn't told anyone other than Bakugo, considering the fact that you guys were great friends. And you didn't tell him all of it. You had only told him half of it. Knowing that you guys were best friends, he would probably blow someone up if you told him everything. All you told him was that you didn't have the best relationship with your parents, which he understood, because he didn't have the best relationship with his either. Well, I can't tell you, Izuku, I'm sorry, I just can't. You squeaked out. He grabbed your hand and looked into your eyes. You can tell me anything, Ryan. I promise. It will be okay, he said to you in a reassuring tone. You laid your head in his lap. Izuku's POV. She laid her head in my lap, which quickly made me become a blushing mess. I wasn't sure what to do, but her hair looked so fluffy I began to play in it. She let out a satisfied hum. Sorry. She let out a satisfied hum, so I continued. She must have liked it. It started when I was... It started about 9 years ago? You said, trying to recall when it started. It started when I was 6. My mother never really liked me. She would always hit me and call me a mistake. I wasn't sure why. After my little sister had died. Well, I was supposed to have a twin sister, but she was... You tried to get out your words without tearing up. You didn't want Izuku to see you cry. You knew you were weak, but you didn't want to seem weak in front of Izuku. He continued to play in your hair as you laid in his lap. My little sister passed away when we were born. I kind of ate her when we were in the womb. Ever since then, my parents hated me. But they started showing it when I was 6. Izuku's hands stopped fiddling in your hair. You thought he was probably shocked. Izuku's POV. I was a bit shocked at what she had just said. How could someone ever hate her, even if she did something? It wasn't her fault. How could someone ever hate her? She's amazing. Everything about her is amazing. I couldn't show her that I was shocked though, even though she probably had already caught on. So I continued to play in her hair. Well, the first time she hit me was when I came home from school one day. I had walked into the house and the first thing she did was slap me across the face and call me a worthless monster. So after she had been hitting me every day, where was your father? Izuku cut you off. Oh, he would just watch and laugh as my mother hit me. Then, Izuku's POV. After I heard that, I was immediately filled with rage. It was one thing for her mother to hit her, but her father to just watch. You're supposed to protect your daughter no matter what. So I continued to play in her hair. not trying to show the fact that I was really, really upset. You yawned and cuddled deeper into Izuku's lap. When I was 9, I hadn't got a bad grade on my test. So when I got home, it was a Friday night. That was the worst night she had did anything. It lasted for hours that night. It wasn't just an hour like usual. It was about 4 hours of her just constantly hitting me. She would startle me and call me a weak monster every day. So soon after I started to believe it. After I began to believe it, I started to hurt myself. Izuku completely stopped and grabbed your arm. You tried to pull away, but he wasn't going to let it happen. He pulled up your sleeve and saw old and new cuts. Do you still hurt yourself? He said as he ran a finger across some of your old cuts. Only when they call me. Only when I have to go home. Only when I think of how weak I am. He stated. Why, Inchin, you're not weak. He took your chin and made you look at him. You are one of the strongest people I know, and you're amazing. And I can't believe someone would ever hurt you. You're perfect in every single way. Why? Izuku started to tear up, which shocked you, but you knew he was emotional. He sat up and just pulled him into a hug, you still being in the common room and all. Izuku, it's okay, just listen. You'll understand why in a minute, he said. As you kept Izuku in your arms, you began to touch. You started to tell. That was my shoulder, y'all. You started to tell your story again. I didn't stop them, and I didn't tell anyone because I deserved it. Everything. I killed my little sister. I ate her. I am a monster. Why? You're not a monster. You whispered sweet nothing into his ear. I don't want you to cry, and I don't want your pity, Izuku. The only reason I was crying is because they called me, just to remind me how useless I am. He looked at you, a bit shocked. Your eyes had filled with tears. They hate me, Izuku. They're always gonna hate me. I want a normal family. I want people that care for me. I want someone that loves me, but my parents will always hate me. You began to cry, and then Izuku pulled you into a hug, his strong arms wrapping around you. I just want someone to lean on for once. I just want to feel safe. I don't want to feel like the monster I am anymore. You cried out. Izuku whispered sweet nothing into your ear, telling you how it would be okay. He then lifted your chin and looked at you. You're not a monster, Wyan-chan. You're sweet and beautiful and one of the nicest girls ever. You'll be a great hero and a great mom. He then placed a soft kiss on your lips, which you were shocked, but you then kissed back. I love you, Wyan-chan, he said, as he blushed and looked away from you. You pulled him back in for another kiss. I love you too, Izuku, he said in a soft tone. You had been exhausted, so you had fell asleep. While Izuku held you, he picked you up and brought you to his dorm. And took you both to your dorm. He covered you up and tucked you in. He figured he would just stay there for the night. He was tired and he didn't feel like going back. So he laid down with you. The next morning, you had woken up. You were puking. It feels so warm. What is this feeling? Why do I feel so? You looked up to see a broccoli-headed boy. And then you realized that's what had happened last night. You nuzzled deeper into Izuku's chest until you heard a knock on your door. Izuku wasn't up yet. Mina had opened the door. Mina and Udaraka. They both had spare keys to your dorm for, as they called it, research purposes. They both walked in to find you cuddling Izuku. You quickly sat up and placed a pillow over Izuku's head. But they had already seen him. Izuku had been woke up. YN, let Izuku go, Mina had said to you. Udaraka was back there giggling and squealing. Everyone practically shipped you two, surprisingly even Bakuho. You let go of Izuku. He was now fully awake and looked at the two girls. We can explain. This never happened. Like, what are you talking? Izuku started rambling about how you guys could explain and about how it never happened. You had cut him off with a kiss. And then you looked at the two girls. We're dating. Now get out. You stayed in. They squealed and took a picture of you two. Research purposes, Mina said as she walked out of your dorm. Well, we're dating? Izuku said to you. Well, you did kind of tell me you loved me last night, so I figured that we're dating, you said to him in a teasing tone. He quickly became a blushing mess, recalling the events of last night. But are you okay? Should we tell Mr. Aizawa about your parents? You looked at him and just shook your head. I'm fine, and I don't plan on going back there ever again. He said as you pecked his cheek. Now let's lay down. I'm tired and you're warm, you said as you got on top of him and nuzzled into his chest. You then looked at the boy that was a blushing mess, but still held you tightly in his arms. Izuku. He let out a soft hum. Please don't leave me. I don't want to be left again, Izuku, you said. He looked down at you, slightly shocked. I'll never leave you, Ayan-chan. I love you, he said as he placed a kiss on your forehead. Okay guys, there you have it. That is your Izuku Midorya one. What you guys have been asking for. Okay. Now I have a couple things to say. I made a Hawks XTP listener, but it is a very heavy video, so I was debating. So I was wondering if you guys wanted me to post that. It's a lot to take in, like in general, so I don't know if you guys want me to post that. Yeah, I can post it, but I don't know if you guys want me to. And yeah, okay, I know I said this in my last video, But this time I really promise the next video that will come out is the part 2 Bakugo X, Kirishima X Bakugo Sister. I already have it planned. I just need to put music in and refilm it. I wanted to get this one out because someone had asked for an izuku Midorya one, so I just felt obliged to give it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as I said, people are asking for a part 3 of my Shoujo Reggae X Reviews listener, so if you guys would like another part of that, just let me know in the comments down below. I can make one. I mean, it's never hard for me to write about Shoujo, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe and like the video. And this is for, I'm gonna link her down in the description because she is so sweet and I love her, and she is my baby chicken nugget. I love all my baby chicken nuggets. I have like 30 subscribers, so when I get to 50, well, if I get to 50, if I get there, then I guess I could do a Q&A if that's what you guys want. So just, I guess, if I get to 50, when I get there, just start linking questions down below, and I'll write them down, and if I don't feel like answering them, then I won't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!